back to another video, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what I eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner, as well as any snacks I have throughout the day. As I mentioned in a couple of my previous videos, I am doing an 8-week challenge at the moment, so I'm trying to increase my intake of protein, especially after doing a workout, and I did do a good workout today, so I have had quite a bit of protein today. I hope you enjoy the recipes in this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!
So first off, like all of my what I eat in a day videos, I start the morning off with some coffee, and so what I've been doing recently is having coffee first thing in the morning and then doing a workout, then coming back inside and making my breakfast. And I've just been finding this routine works really well for me because the coffee kind of gets me going, gives me a bit of energy pre-workout, so then I get a really good workout in and then I get to have my delicious oats afterwards. So yes, I am definitely having oats for breakfast today. I decided to make a spiced apple oats today, which is something I haven't had in a very long time, but I was just craving apples and something a bit kind of Christmassy, I guess. I don't really know. Anyway, all I'm doing here is peeling the apple. You could definitely leave the skin on if you prefer. However, I just decided to take it off today and I'm cutting it into super small little chunks. You could also grate the apple and that would make it cook a bit faster, so would recommend that if you want a quicker oats. However, I had a bit of time up my sleeve today, so I just decided to cut it into little squares, and now I'm adding in some maple syrup into a pot. I think I added in 2 teaspoons there. And I'm also going in with a little bit of vanilla extract, as well as some cinnamon and some allspice. And then you just want to stir that around and cook it down for around about 10 minutes. If you don't care if they're kind of hard, then you don't have to cook it for as long. Like, you could just cook it for a couple of minutes. But if you want it more tender, definitely leave it for a bit longer. So then I'm going in with half a cup of water and half a cup of almond milk. You could do all water or all almond milk, but I don't know. Today I just decided to go for half and half. And then once that is starting to boil a little bit, I added in the oats. So here I'm adding in about half of a cup of oats, which is around about 55 grams. If you are hungrier, obviously add in a bit more, or if you're not as hungry, add in a bit less. I just find half a cup of oats is a good serving size for me, and that has about, I think, 6 grams of protein in there as well. So it's a pretty good hit of protein, but I am going to add in a bit extra protein soon, and you will see that in a minute. But I've also just added in some extra cinnamon in there because I thought it needed a bit more spice to it, and a little bit more almond milk. So again, you want to stir that through. If you just keep stirring it, it gets a more creamy consistency. So as you can see now, I'm adding in 1 little scoop of my protein powder. This is the vanilla INC plant-based protein. I've used it in a couple of my previous videos. It just works so well with oats. The flavor is incredible and it really combines well with these spicy elements, having that vanilla coming through. So I would recommend a vanilla protein powder if you're going to be making this recipe. But you can totally leave out the protein powder if you would like. You definitely don't need it, but it does add a nice flavor to it and obviously increases the protein. And since I had just done a workout, that is what I decided to do today. So now, as you can see, the oats are nice and thick and creamy, and I decided to serve them over some frozen blueberries. So you don't have to add in the blueberries, but I just felt like it, so I put them in the bottom of the bowl and then put my oats on top. And then finally, I'm adding in a little drizzle of peanut butter. I would say this would be around 15 grams of peanut butter, which is just a bit less than a usual serve. But obviously add as much as you like or as little as you like. This tasted so delicious, and I actually can't wait to make this again. It was so tasty and just like warming and satisfying, and I would recommend. Alrighty, now on to lunch. I decided to make a tofu scramble. Again, this is a really great high protein meal that is super satisfying and so tasty. So as you've probably seen in my last couple of what I eat in a day videos, I have been having this a lot recently, and it's just because I just love the taste so much, and I finally found a way to make tofu scramble that just tastes amazing every single time. So all I'm doing here is adding in 1 serve of tofu, which is about 150 grams of hard tofu, into a pan with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm adding in all of the different spices. So I'll put the exact measurements of all the spices and all the ingredients in the description box below. But basically you want to add in some turmeric, some paprika. I added in some cumin here because I was going for a slightly Mexican feel today, as well as some onion powder, garlic powder, and salt and pepper. I'm also adding in half a cup of almond milk here, and that's what makes it so creamy and delicious. So I definitely recommend adding in some almond milk or any other type of plant milk that you have at home. Now I'm also going in with half of a cup of pinto beans. So I had these pinto beans sitting in the cupboard and I just was craving pinto beans randomly. So I decided to add them in and oh my gosh, it was just an amazing addition. I'm definitely going to do this again. I highly recommend trying adding in some beans to your tofu scramble because it just gives it like this additional textural element and you know, you're adding in a bit more protein and fiber in there. So that's always welcome. Anyway, I'm just serving mine with some mushrooms and spinach. You could use whatever veggies you have at home, but I just find that mushrooms and spinach go really well with tofu scramble. And all I'm adding in there is a little bit of crushed garlic and some salt and pepper. And then again, you just want to stir that around and cook it down until it is cooked all the way through. So now I'm going to be serving mine up in a bowl. So if you feel like it, you could totally serve this on top of a couple of slices of toast. However, today I just decided to serve it up in a bowl because that was just what I was going for. And I'm also serving it with half of an avocado to get those healthy fats in. I love avocado and this happened to be the perfect avocado, so it was a great moment. Whenever you open up an avo and it's just perfectly ripe, it just makes my day. So today I did decide to top this off with a little bit of barbecue sauce, which is completely optional, but I'm just loving barbecue sauce recently and it's the salt and sugar reduced one. So, you know, it's not too bad for you and it tastes so good. So this is the final product. Honestly, it was so delicious and super satisfying and a great high protein meal. So I also paired this with a kombucha. It was just quite a warm day and I felt like something cooling and refreshing. So I had this passion fruit kombucha by Lobros. It is super tasty. So now onto my afternoon snack. I decided to make some tea and have one of my homemade protein bars. So I just decided to have peppermint tea today. It's just a nice refreshing kind of drink. As I said, it was quite warm today. Obviously it was cool inside, but I just felt like something refreshing and just subtle and yum. So I went for peppermint tea. And then I paired that with my delicious chocolate hazelnut protein bars. I shared this recipe in one of my previous videos. I will link it in the top right corner. It was my meal prep video. Honestly, these are so good and I would highly recommend trying them out. I mean, look at this texture. It's so good. And the chocolate on the outside is just so tasty. It has, I think, around 10 grams of protein in it and it's just the perfect afternoon snack when you have that sweet craving, but you still want to have something that's quite nutritious and healthy for you. So that was great. Then onto dinner, I decided to have some leftovers. So a couple days before I had made this delicious dal. It's also in my last video, the meal prep video, so you can check out the recipe for the dal here, but it is slightly different to that one. This one I added in some frozen peas just to add a bit of greenery in, and I used protein rice instead of the black rice that I used in my last video. So the protein rice, I mentioned this in my grocery haul video. You can check that out. I just got it from Coles and it's made from lentil flour, I think pea flour and sweet potato powder, and actually tasted really good. It looked a bit weird when you cooked it, but the rice actually did taste good and I think it would be really good in a risotto. So I'm definitely going to use it again. Stay tuned for that. I might make a risotto recipe soon with that protein rice. It actually is really good and I think it has around 15 grams of protein per serve. So it's just a great little additional hit of protein. And then as you can see here, I just paired it with some fresh cucumber and half of an avocado. Now onto dessert / evening snacks. So after dinner, I really was craving something chocolatey. So I decided to make this protein chocolate mousse. I have mentioned this as well in one of my previous videos, but I'm literally obsessed with it right now. So I actually used soy yogurt here. I got that from a specialty store. I'm not actually sure if you can get it from Woolies or Coles. I haven't seen it around, but it was a soy yogurt, which has, I think, around 5 grams of protein per serve, which is pretty good. And then I added in some cocoa powder as well well as about 12 grams of protein powder. And then you just want to stir that all together. It takes a while to really get everything well combined, but once you have, it just turns into this delicious mousse-like texture, which honestly, it's just so good. Like, I could eat this for every meal right now. I'm just obsessed with it. So if you haven't tried it, I really do recommend it. Obviously, the flavor will vary depending on your protein powder. But here I'm just using the INC Sports chocolate flavored protein powder. It works really well with the vanilla as well because you're adding in the cocoa powder anyway. So if you have a vanilla or chocolate flavored protein powder, it should work pretty well. But no guarantee because it definitely does depend on the taste of your protein powder. So then I decided to have a decaf coffee. I'm just using Moccona decaf instant coffee with a bit of almond milk, and that was all for that. And then about maybe 1 or 2 hours later, I'd been watching some TV, watching Stranger Things actually at the moment. We're up to the 3rd season. I'd never seen it before and I'm really obsessed with it. But anyway, I was just wanting something to snack on while we were watching this show. So I decided to have this barbecue corn. If you watched my grocery haul video at the bulk food store, this is where I picked that up from. And it's honestly so tasty. It's just a great little snack to munch on while you're watching TV or doing something. And that was it for the day.
Hey guys, so I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what was your favorite recipe from this video. Personally, I just love the scrambled tofu. I'm just so obsessed with it at the moment. It's just so tasty. And the dal, I'm also really obsessed with dal at the moment. Since the other day when I did my grocery haul, I'll link that video up here, and I got those red lentils. I've just been eating away at them because they're so good. And I hadn't had red lentils in a while, so it's just so good. I highly recommend trying that out. And yeah, I hope you are all safe and well. If you're new here and you haven't already, it would mean the world to me if you could click that subscribe button down below. And also click the bell notification button if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, which is every Wednesday and Sunday. So with all that said, I hope you are safe and well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!